I have to wait. Here we are. As it's preparing to live stream, we're going to be ready to rock and roll here in just a second. Thanks for everyone's patience. There we go. It says it's done. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Great Discovery, and this is all about channels. We're going to be discussing how to set up your channel on the Great Discovery. This is your community. This is where you will build out, and as a creator, you have the space to really, really make this your own. So we're going to talk today about how do you get started creating your channel on the Great Discovery. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Make sure my sound is on just in case I need it. Okay, here we go. So welcome to the Great Discovery. The channel is a deep dive into it's your favorite place to bring a community in, explore content, maybe bringing it over from the courses you have on the platform, however you want to set it up. It's a new space where you can post daily. You have access to posting things immediately. You can host Zooms. You can really connect with your audience and build that relationship. It's very important. So what is a channel? How do we get it started? So channels are really a space for your group. It is a space, a community where you can interact with the people that are either taking your course or are in a membership with you. Maybe you do coaching, maybe you do podcasting, whatever it is that you are doing. This is your space to really connect, and you can share, exclusive content. You can give them a background look at podcasts, which is one of my favorite things to do. And you can connect directly with your audience and help learners explore topics deeper than they would in just a course where you're not having that give and take space, where they're just taking the course. There's no place for them to really, ask questions and do things with you. This gives them that opportunity. So it's customizable. It's a space that you create. You can do different membership tiers. We're going to talk a little bit about that. You control the content. We're going to talk about what kind of content that should be. And we're going to talk about how do we engage with people in our content? How do we really get our audience involved in things? So one of the first things I wanted to talk about today was that community connection. You can have a networking group in there. You can have all different kinds of things where you're really connecting. And the difference between having a channel on the Great Discovery and if you were to host it somewhere else is you don't own that information. So when you are, using a group on Facebook to say, as an example, it's not owned by you. And why that's important is you're not collecting emails unless you're putting that in your questions. You're not able to really control that much about it because, and I say this because you are really renting space from Facebook. It's theirs. So they have their own community standards and guidelines that you have to follow, and you might mess up, and not even intentionally. It could happen. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen in a number of different situations. It could be from someone's comments, some things that are happening in the group that you don't even have any control over. And so you can build and spend time. I've seen spaces, groups on Facebook that have been around for several years, many years, 4, 5, 6 years, where they've really built out this amazing group. And they had, 58, I don't know how many it was, 58,000 people. It was a lot of people that were members of this group. And then one day it was simply gone because somebody broke a community guideline and Facebook decided to take the group down. They didn't give any notice. It was just gone. So all of those years of building this group, all these connections, all of these things that they had done simply vanished. The posts were gone. The page was gone. The members had dispersed. There was no one in there. It was done. And it's taken them a few years, and they went back and they kept it on Facebook, but they're still building it back. Now they have a lot of members that they've gotten back, but not anywhere near that 58,000 that they previously had. I had another group that was an event group, and they would have events in there all the time. Every week there'd be a new event. They were building out an audience. They had 3,000 people in it, taking them a year or so to get to that number, put a lot of work and effort into it. And it was because of somebody that was in the event, posted a photo of a glass of wine that had spilled on the carpet. And they almost lost their group because of it, because the bots, the things that are looking at the content in the channel, the bots, not a human, because a human would have looked at it and go, that you can see the wine glass, you know it's spilled wine on the floor. But instead, the bots thought it was blood on carpet and that it was harmful. And so they got a warning. Luckily, they just got a warning and didn't get taken down. But if it happened again, it would have been taken down and they would have lost their group. So this is why I say it's so important to own the space that you're in. And when you're with the Great Discovery, we are not going to just take your channel down for something that as a human we would see is a glass of wine or see anything, you know what I mean? So you have all of this information, you have all of their emails, all of your members, you're connected with them. You are not getting people that just, where you don't have any connection, you can't get them back. So you really own this space. And I think that's really important. I don't think people understand why it's so important. And that's why we're seeing communities on private spaces really, really blossom and flourish, is because of this, because you do own your space in here. So that's my little stories on that. I wanted to show the point of it is it could happen to anybody. So really owning your space is important at this time. And it enables you to really connect with your audience. We want to make sure that our audience, feels like they're heard and they can ask questions and they can go deeper on different subjects that they might want to know more information. Not only that, but that also gives you the opportunity to create more content based on what it is that they're looking at, what it is that they are interested in. So it really has that nice give and take to it. That's that fostering collaborative learning, right? We're learning more from each other. The other thing is we want to talk a little bit about our content strategy. So how do we build out a channel and what are we going to be putting on the channel? How are we going to be building out our content? It's really important to have content that varies. It's not just the same thing. You're not going to be using it just to promote other things that you might be selling, other courses and things like that. You're taking a deep dive into different things. You're sharing value with the audience that you have in there. And it's so important to be consistent. You'll hear that over social media. You'll hear that in all these different areas. Being consistent from podcasting, like, that, you know, Friday nights is whatever it might be. There's a show on Friday nights, and then you go on to Friday night and you turn on your TV and that show's not there. You're like, hey, what? And now you're looking for a new show, right? So you want to give your audience, they want to know that they can expect content from you. And when you start building that consistent schedule, you will start seeing that people are going to start showing up and commenting and participating because they know what to expect. They know that the content's going to be there and they're ready for the next installment that you're putting out. It doesn't have to be every single day. You can set the schedule that works for you, but understand that a community is a live, breathing creature that you are building. It is a community where people come together. So you need to be posting regularly. You need to figure out what your posting schedule is, what you're going to be putting on there, and planning that out well. And you can also diversify the content formats, right? So we do have a lot of different ways that you can post. There's a lot of different options from video to Zoom to, photos, image, audio, just text. There's different ways to post. So vary it. Do different things. Don't do the same thing all of the time. And like I said before, it's important to match your audience interests. And when you are posting and they are commenting back to you, that is your way to understand what are their interests? What questions are they asking? What do they want to learn more about? And then give them what they're asking for, right? The other thing that's great about channels is we're going to help you get monetized. So maybe you're a podcaster and you're looking for a way to monetize your podcast, and you're not really sure about Patreon, and you don't know if you want a subscribe button and join my group and how I'm going to do things. A channel is your space for a podcaster to really be able to put out, their content. You can post your your podcast right on there. You can do behind the scenes. You can add so many things, and you can put that behind a gate, a paid gateway where they're going to have to join at a certain level to be a part of it, right? They get extras, they get the behind the scenes, they get the AMAs, they get to maybe show up to a live session, all these different things that you can put behind a paywall at whatever levels you choose to do. So we're going to learn how to set strategic pricing. We're going to have to learn how to offer valuable premium content and convert expertise into a sustainable income. What are the factors? What do we need? What's the key to success on the platform? Know what your audience wants, understand who your audience is and what they want, deliver consistent value, right? Engage authentically and continuously evolve in the content. So you're listening and then you're giving them more of what they want. And then finally, we want to build a structured community, more structured than on social media, right? Where they really can be involved. We can give them more interactive experiences with our live Zooms. We can personalize their learning journey. We can develop direct, creator community relationship. You can build these out with your different levels, the different membership levels, the different things that you're offering. Maybe you're a coach and you want to do a coaching program, and you're going to use the Great Discoveries channel to do that, where you've got group coaching, because what they're benefiting from is not only are they having a space where they can connect with each other, but they connect with you, and it feels more like a group that they are all together in. They're in it together, and that's really important. And then when they're done with that group coaching program that you've put out, then you can put them into the next group, which is an alumni group. Maybe it's a little bit less in money, but it's that way to maintain that relationship that you have with your clients, right? And keep them in a space so they're still together. All right. So what do we have? What are the different things? I'm going to hop into what the platform looks like and walk you through setting things up. But I want to get started first with what are the different content types that we have? We have text, we have video, we have audio, we have images, and very soon we have Zoom. So how do we do all that? How do we get all this stuff set up? What are the key features? What are the things that we need to provide? You know, we need to pick. I would suggest just maybe even rotating through some of these. Maybe you won't have audio. Maybe if you're a podcaster, you have the audio. But if you're not a podcaster, maybe you have just some audio that you want to put in, that maybe you're using this for your Sunday service. Maybe this is the place that people can attend, and they can watch the service, they can be included, they can do Bible studies, whatever this is the place to do it in. This is an interactive space where we can do things, right? So you can use any and all of these features to put a post out. Each post is going to require a title. It's going to include a descriptive written copy. So there always is going to be some sort of written content in any of these posts. You really need to, be thinking about that. If you're doing a video, you could actually put the transcript in there if you wanted to, or you can take the key features or the things that they're learning from this video and put that below, right? You can control your content visibility by who sees it, by the membership levels, and you can create that tiered access, right? So some of the things you might put in there that are going to be for everyone, and some things are just going to be for a specific tier of your membership. So we have premium, in-depth information, specialized knowledge sharing, unique insight, and controlled content access. That's what these channels are giving us. So what do we need to start a channel? This is the basics. This is the bottom. This is like, we need to know this. You're going to need a name of your channel. Now, when you go to name your channel, I want you to go through the other channels and look through them, because you're going to want a unique name for your channel, right? So that you stand out. And then once you've decided on what that name is, this should be a reflection of what your channel is about, so people can identify. Mine, I have two channels on the platform. One of them is AI video creators. Pretty self-explanatory. We're going to create AI videos, and it's for creators that create AI videos, right? And the other one is podcasting. Sweet and simple. There's not a lot to it, but it's all about podcasting. Everything you need to know about podcasting. And I wanted to keep it nice and clear and simple. So it's fun to name things fun things. You know, I'm the clever biatch many times, and I like fun and I like playful words. But when people are searching for your stuff and they want to find you, and or they're coming to the platform and they're looking for a channel to join, they're going to be using this SEO words that they know. What is that thing that I'm looking for? It's important to have that somewhere in your title to keep it clear and concise, so people know what they're getting before they even get there, right? They're not going to drive to a gas station and get there and realize it's a beauty salon, right? So they want to know what they're getting to, right? And then you're going to be creating a headline. So what is a headline? A headline is that one sentence, maybe it's a little long of a sentence, but it's 300 characters or less. Think of it as your tagline, the thing that's going to go right underneath your name, of your channel. You don't want, this is not a description. This is where people come to learn more about podcasting or how to be a guest. Done. Headline. So if I didn't know if podcasting wasn't clear enough for me, my headline is going to clarify it completely for them, and they're going to know they're in the right place, right? That's the thing that they need to see. Now, your channel page URL. People are going to get thrown by this, and I'm going to show you what it looks like here in just a second. But that channel page URL, it will automatically populate it by what your channel name is. But yes, you can change it. Just know that if you go in and you're like, you know what, I want to change my URL after you've created your channel, it's going to change how people find you. So if you've given my channel is just podcasting, that's the URL to it. It's thegreatdiscovery.com/channels/podcasting. Very simple and easy. I don't even have to look it up. I can just tell you what it is because I can remember it off the top of my head. Now, if I go in there and I change it, even if I just add something, podcasting for everyone. Now that URL is different, so anyone that went to my original one will not be able to find me anymore. And someone else could come along and take that. So I want to make sure that if I do change my URL, know that changing your URL will break the links of anything that you had previously. So plan it out. If you're going to change it, plan it out. Okay. Do it at the beginning. Don't change it down the road unless you're completely changing your channel. And then we need our about section. And I'm going to dive into what the about section is and give you a really detailed, and you're going to get a copy of all these slides so you don't have to remember all this stuff, because I know it's a lot to write down. And I'm moving fast because I want to get to questions and I want to do a quick demo. So we're going to work on the about section next, but our cover image, this is really important. 1024 by 1024. That is that circle. It's going to go in that circle space at the bottom of your banner. Okay. So we have to keep that in mind when we're creating our banners. And it should just be your face. Find a great picture yourself, put it in there. It's a square, and uploaded. What's really important is that banner image size. It has to be 1600 by 400. 1600 by 400. We need it to look consistent, and you don't want it cut off anywhere. So you want to make sure that you're getting it done correctly. And then always remember that in that middle bottom space on your banner is not going to be seen, because that's where your cover image is going to show up. So keep that in mind, and I'll show you what I mean by that in here in just a second. But let's dive into the about. So should our about part be? What do we need it to say? It should say who you help. So who is this space for? Right? Who is it? Who is my audience? How do I want them to know that they're in the right space? It's for, example, this is for entrepreneurs, creatives, big-hearted rebels who are ready to stop playing small and start building something real. Just tell, who is this for? We want to know what they'll get when they get there. What are they going to get if they say, yeah, I want to join this membership? Even if it's at the free level, remember, even at the free level, people still have to make the choice to hit join. So what are they getting from you? List the value. What do you teach? What are you doing in there? What's going on in there? What's your offer? What are you sharing? You'll find practical training, honest conversations, and digital tools to grow your brand, business, or passion project with support every step of the way. Clear. Let them know what they'll get if they say, yeah, I want to join your group. What is your vibe or mission? Who are you? What do you want this space to be? You're giving them that feel. You're giving them that what's the vibe in here? Because you could be telling them the things that they want to hear and teaching the things they want, but they got to vibe with you. They want to, you're inviting them into your living room, right? You're having tea. You're bringing them in. You want the space to be somewhere they want to hang out. So I believe in calling people forward. Oops, I'm going to be hitting all kinds of stuff. I believe in calling people forward, not pushing them. If you're looking for a real community and not just another course, you're in the right place. What is your vibe? What is your mission? And finally, your call to action. Now, this is still in the about page. You have a lot of space here. You can put a lot of things. You want to point them to your memberships. Now that you've got them, like, hey, I think this space is for me. What do we do next? We want to call them in and help them find the space that's right for them. Whether it's free or a different paid tier, they need to know where to go. Where do I fit in best? Where should I come in? So you're going to explain a little bit. If you're looking for this, then maybe this tier, this membership is for you, right? Check out the membership, see where you plug in. These are the memberships that I'm offering, right? We're not going to get into super detail. You're not giving them a checklist and all the bullet points of what each membership has, but you're going to give them the general idea when you were putting those memberships together. What is it that you want them to know right from the get-go that's going to help them decide where they fit best? You want them to feel like they're at home, right? Like they can walk in the door, they don't need to knock, they can take off their shoes, they can grab something out of the fridge, and they are home. That is the space of a thriving community. If you can make it feel like they're coming home when they walk into that membership and that group, that is the secret to a really, really sustainable channel on the platform. So here's some ways that you can learn more about what I'm doing. I have a channel, like my TGD channels is available. It is free. It is on the platform. If you want to keep going and learn more, you can do that. And I also recommend Jenny Rice has a great channel. It is all about how to build out your channel and getting ideas and doing more things with that. With that, I am going to switch over, and yes, you'll get the slides to this so that you'll be able to go back and reread everything. I'm going to stop my share, and then I am going to pull up, and we're going to walk through what it's like to get a channel. So first, I think we should probably figure out how to find a channel, how we even find our channels. If you don't know, let me get you there. I'm going to log in because apparently it logged me out while I was doing that, and that's not going to work. So I'm going to log in quick, and then I'll show you. You do need to be logged in to be able to see this. as a creator, this is for creators, and I am going to show you, it'll pull you up once you're logged in. You're going to find yourself on our navigation pane. Navigation pane, here's where I want you to go. You're going to go to the top of the page where it says for creators. Right now we're on for learners. We want to go to the one that says for creators. So we're going to click on that button right there. And once we do that, in this navigation, in this panel at the top in the purple, you're going to see a list of different places you can go. And we're going to click on channels. So once we sign in, we're going to click on for creators, and then we are going to go to channels. So when I click on channels, it's actually going to pull me into, you may have to sign in, but you're just going to pull you into our channels. Right? So you can see I have 2 channels on the platform, and I can select which one. If you are new and setting up your channel, it is going to show you to set that up. But I'm going to go into my podcasting channel. I'm going to make this where you have to edit it so you can see what it looks like. So here's where you're going to customize your channel. This is how we set up our channel. So you will see that it has podcasting. I've got it very clear, very simple. I like the bright red because I think it grabs your attention. And I will upload that here. Again, it will tell you the sizes, 1600 by 400, very important. And then below that is a profile picture. This is where I've uploaded my profile picture. That will sit right here where you see on the banner where this little edit button is. That is where my image will sit. So you can see I've kept that bottom middle completely clear, so I'm not covering up lettering or anything else that I might have there. I think that's important. Now we'll go to the name of your channel page. This is where you're going to put your name. You can put whatever you would like here. Like I said, please check to see what other channels are out there so that you have an original name. You want to make sure that it's yours. And it's just like if you were to build a podcast. I know I go back to podcasting a lot, but I feel it's very similar, that you're not taking somebody else's name. Then they might get confused when they're searching for it and end up in somebody else's membership group, and then you've lost them, right? So you don't want to do that. So here's the URL. Now, if I were to change this and call it podcasting and guess, right? And I come down here, you see how it started to build out this URL below. It built it out. It says podcasting dash and dash guess. Now it's changing my URL. Now it will create the URL for you. If you don't want that change, or if you don't like what it says, you can do the same thing and change it. But just understand that if you change it, that if you've already had it out there, it's going to lose your connection. Those will be broken links from before, right? So I don't want that. I'm going to keep mine just at podcasting. You'll see that it takes everything away from here. And now I'm going to move down to my headline. I honestly wouldn't change the URL. You would just leave your URL alone. But I'm saying some people like to go in and mess around with things. I'm letting you know ahead of time. If you mess around with it after you've published it, you are going to lose people if you've already sent the link out. Headline: Welcome to the ultimate podcasting community. We offer 3 membership tiers designed to support you at every stage of your podcasting journey. That is my headline. Very, very simple. I don't want it to say a ton of things. It needs to be short, 300 characters or less. If it's too long, it'll tell you, hey, it's too long. You have to reduce it down. Okay. So think about how you would sum it up in a sentence or two. And then here we get to our about. Now, this does not have a limit on it, and you can put whatever you would like in it, right? Ready to level up. What are you going to get from it? What are you putting in here? I gave you that list of all the things in your about section. I would pre-write this and set it up however you want, then paste it in here. And once you are finally done, you will hit Save Changes. Save Changes. That's very important, okay? So now I have my channel. So we're going to go look to see, what does this look like, right? What does it look like on the page? So I'm going to go to the Great Discovery, I'm going to go down to channels. How do I find a channel? I'm going to scroll down here on this. This is the homepage. This is just greatdiscovery.com. Here's creator channels. I can hit see all channels. See all channels. It's going to pull up all of the channels. I'm simply going to click on my name, but I can search here. I can put podcast in here and it's going to pull up, right? Here's some different ones on podcasting. Here is mine. I'm going to click on this and now we can see how does it look on the platform. So you can see, like I said, that bottom center, this is where your face is going to be. So make sure you're keeping this space clear when you're designing your banner, right? Designing your banner. I did mine in Canva. It's very simple. You can do it anywhere that you would like, using whatever AI you would like, just so that you can create whatever you want, right? This is your space. Put my picture in there. This is that headline. Welcome to the Ultimate Podcasting Community. This is where we offer 3 membership tiers designed to support you at every stage of your podcasting journey. You can change these at any time. Now, changing your headline or your about is not going to affect your URL, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you want to change it down the road, I completely changed my channel. The other channel I had was Mom Life, and I changed it to AI video creator. So you can redo this any way you want. But this is, and then here's where you're going to see my channel posts, right? Right here. So here's some things. And this is all available to anyone. This is all my free stuff. I put it right on the front page. And then you'll be able to see what the memberships look like. And we'll get into these next time. But here's that about section. So you can see in here, you really have a lot of space to put whatever you want in your about section. So that wraps it up on how to get started. Once your channel is customized, you'll actually be able to go in and publish it. So I'm going to go back to my channels and you'll see that it has been published. It is published. It will ask you to publish once you are done. And you can go ahead when you're ready and hit publish. And then we'll move on to how to start writing posts, how to create content, and what we should be working on. All right. Let me stop the stream. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check me out. We're going to be back in 2 weeks to do more about how to set up your channel, how to get posting, what things you should be looking at, and how to set up your membership tiers. And finally, how to set up your Zoom and connect it so that you can learn all about Zooming